That was good for a Pokemon movie. This kind of statement always hit me as harsh, as if Pokemon can't stand and fight on its own 2 feet against the biggest hitters of the year, and instead sits in its own category next to the 50-second Doraemon movie and whatever property Toei has blindly picked to join its cinematic roster. Yet, for all its harsh, there is more than a grain of truth to it. When was the last time you saw a good Pokemon movie? For me, it was back in 2000, when we met the Guardian of the Sea for the first time. And 18 years on, it feels strangely fitting that one of Pokemon's greatest movies would include Lugia once again. My name is Isla, and this is my review of Pokemon Minna no Monogatari. You're gonna make me say it, aren't you? Because I watched this in English dub version, so there's no way I can get away from it. My name is Isla, and this is my review of Pokemon. That's the power of us. Moving swiftly past its cringy name, a throwback to the aforementioned last good Pokemon movie, the second cinematic outing from director Tetsuya Yajima is indeed one of the best ones yet. Set in Fulla City, days away from celebrating the Wind Festival, an event held every year to receive the blessings of Lugia, we follow not just Ash, but 6 other characters. And it's while telling everyone's story that Pokemon Minna no Monogatari finds its greatest strength and its greatest weakness. Aya Takaha and Eiji Umehara drift the script's focus between each of these characters, and they seamlessly stitch their stories together in a way that feels natural, not designed. Of course, when you have a cast that large and a less than 2-hour runtime, it's impossible to give each person the attention they deserve. This leads to clumsy conclusions formed in the later half of the film, and many of their stories feeling unfinished. Yet it's the beginning that drew me in, right from the moment I saw Fulla City. It has sprawling streets and huge houses that you can traverse in trams with people and Pokemon living side by side. They created a city that feels alive in every single frame. This is where I want the next generation of Pokemon games to go, to a place that can capture the majesty that this franchise deserves, to a place as beautiful as this. I was interested the moment the 21st film was announced because Wit Studio would be handling the animation with the help of veteran team OLM, and they did not disappoint. The gorgeous background art is reminiscent of the gentle work found in the Ancient Magus' Bride and After the Rain, whereas the dynamic use of cameras and close-up action feels as if it was lifted from Attack on Titan. Both animation houses play on their strengths and borrow from each other, although the 3D imagery used across the city and in the fights never seems to blend into the surrounding scene, so on some occasions you can play the good old modern game of spot the bad CG. Yet if you're watching the dub, you won't miss one note, as the original soundtrack by Shinji Miyazaki is kept intact from the Japanese. And while he's an old hand at composing for Pokemon, they brought in fresh blood like Shizu Kaneko, whose vibrant character designs make everyone's stories stand out, maybe even more than the script itself. This reboot of the Pokemon franchise, starting from last year's I Choose You, has given it the chance to evolve, making Minna no Monogatari so good for a Pokemon movie. Therein lies the truth to this harsh statement. It's still a Pokemon film, so there isn't much for the non-fan here. It has overhand lessons for kids spread across the script, and a classic oh so Ash Ketchum motivational speech in the middle that made a grown adult cringe into her seat. And by the time we get to that point, I didn't care about the legendary Pokemon Zeriora and spent most of the last half waiting for a blink and you'll miss it scene with Lugia. So I'd say Pokemon is in its middle evolution stage, with so many strengths in its revitalised form that I'm excited to take it into battle. But we're not quite ready to take on the Penguin Highways, the Mirais, or the I want to eat your pancreases of this world. Yet, one day I hope that we can chip away at their HP, because this franchise is special, and it encompasses everyone's story. From the kids in the front row watching it now, to the adults in the back who have been watching all this time.